So as I said, we had 2.7 inches of rain in the last, let's call it 28 hours. This is our small stock pond that we built 20 years ago, I guess. And it's got quite a bit of water in it. Didn't go over the spillway, but this had next to nothing in it 2 days ago. So it was nice to get that rain. Like I said, we didn't go over the spillway. We'll go up here and see how the big lake is. It was down low too. And you can see we've got grass is getting green, starting to grow. I hope we get some growth here. It's not quite the middle of March. My hope is by the 15th of April, we've got some spring flush starting to come on, especially now that the weather's turning warm earlier than anticipated. Let's go up here and see what we got. So this is the area that I would drive up. Oh, I guess it's been 3 years now. I drive up through here in the wintertime and feed hay over on the other half of this ridge field. And the ground hasn't completely repaired itself yet. But we'll walk up here and see what the grass is doing. Seeing some green coming in. And looks like we got some pretty good rain came in here. And as you can see, the dock looks like it's about 18, 20 inches below those posts. And the top of the posts is a normal full pool. But just looking at the grass here, you can start to see that the grass is starting to grow. It's looking nice, isn't it? I'll be happy to see it come up. We've done real good this winter. I've talked about this already, about how much grazing we actually got. We came in, it was December the 25th, I believe, if I remember correctly. And we started grazing some stockpile and grazed all the way through the 1st of February. I think it was 4th or 5th of February. And then I separated the bulls from the herd, moved the herd down to the small hay field where I had been grazing the heifers, and moved those gals in with the heifers. And we'll go down and take a look at what they've been doing for the last month. This is paddock, well, altogether this is paddock 8, and there are 7 different paddocks in here, making up anywhere from an acre to 3/4 of an acre or something like that. This is the biggest one. I hadn't really divided this one up. I think if you divided it, you would get 3/4 acre lots out of it. But it's got a lot of trees in here. The grass is best up here on this high part. You get down there on the lower side, down in the ditch. There's some good fescue down there, but over the hillside there, the ground is pretty rocky and it's thin, and the grass doesn't grow real good down there. We had some trouble with buckbrush growing in here. I've mowed it over the years down close. Last year and the year before, I went in and just did some spot spraying, trying to knock it back. We got the same problem over here in this corner. Years we did baling up on this ridge and always missed this corner here. It's a little rough, so didn't really do a lot of cutting for hay in here, so the brush kept coming up. This is now it's been 3 months since we've been in here, and these cows, they ate it down really close, so it'll take a little while for it to come back. Probably don't want to do that again, get it this close, but I'll tell you what, with as dry as it was this past year, if you wanted to graze your cattle and not feed hay, this is what you got. Again, the buckbrush is pretty thick in here. We have problems with other weeds. I come in here and do some spot spraying. I pull weeds by hand when I can. Again, this is where we burnt off that brush pile. Anyway, it's starting to green up and starting to grow in here. This is an area of paddock 8 that is still pretty brushy. There's not a lot of grass on this hillside. I probably need to get in there and push out some of these old bad trees. That one there's broke off. That needs to be out of there. And that one next to it probably ought to go too. It's not a very good tree. That would open up and get a little bit more sunlight in here. Same thing over here. There's a lot of elms in here, American elms growing, and they're not doing any good. They're just shading the ground. Get some of this cleaned up, burnt out, and I bet we get some more grass growing in here. You can see we got some runoff going. Filling the ponds up. Well, we'll walk down here and see the cow herd. You can see we've got a lot of clover. I'm pretty sure that's white clover starting to pop. This is just a little path down to the small hayfield where the herd's located right now. I gave them the last of their winter stockpile a couple of days ago. Let them start eating on that. My plan is to move them out of here on March the 15th. And I'm probably going to move them over here to paddock 2A and B and bale feed them for 2 weeks while the grass comes in. we'll go down here and see how they're doing. I'm going to check on the stock pond down here, see how much water we got in it with all that rain. You can see the grass down through there. They've got it ate down pretty good. It's kind of what I'm looking for. We're going to fertilize this in 3 weeks, maybe. End of March, anyway. Been feeding them in here. I give them these square bales that we got out of Minnesota. I'm not sure what that mix is, but there's a lot of stemmy stuff in it, and they don't eat all of it. So this is a stock pond that we built, I'm going to say almost 15 years ago, 16 years ago, 2007, I guess. And I've had trouble with it holding water. Now it has been holding 6-8 inches of water pretty consistent now. So I'm thinking it's starting to seal, and maybe we'll see a little better performance out of it this year. If we can get some rain. We'll walk over here across the top of the dam. This is a locust tree I gotta get out of here. There was a huge locust just about where them cows were standing when we first came in here. I brought my track loader in here. It took 2 hours to dig that thing out and get it pushed out of here. So girls, how we doing? That's 23:51 over there. 51, how come you're all by yourself? Huh? Yeah, she's all by herself mainly, I think, because she don't have any relatives in here. The only relative she has is Buster. They had the same mama. And girls, how come you all huddle up down here? Nobody wants to come see me? How we doing, girls? Got a little rain going on. You got some rain? Did you get a bath last night? You must have, because it rained hard, didn't it? Well, I'm hoping I got 13 cows and heifers bred for this year. I think officially we got 9 that we preg checked in November, and then the bulls were with them all the way until the 1st of February. So I'm hoping that they bred the other 4 over the winter. And this spot down here is the last of our stockpile in the hayfield. Like I said, they're going to be in here for another 8 days, 7-8 days. And then we're going to move them out. Let it grow, fertilize it. Just so you can see, we've got clover coming up. I'm sure there's some lespedeza, some trefoil. It's all been planted in here. I'm sure we'll see hop clover. That always comes up every year. You can see where I had the electric fence up, holding them off of this, so they ate it up right to it. I get them out of here, I'm going to take the drag and go through here with a small tractor and drag all this down, all these cow patties. So I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned. We'll see what the spring holds for us here on the farm.